OpenAI just changed everything. Here's what nobody is talking about. OpenAI just did something that should concern every single person who uses ChatGPT. And no, I'm not talking about another model update. I'm talking about something far bigger, something that changes the entire relationship between you and the AI you've been trusting with your most personal questions. OpenAI is now putting ads inside ChatGPT. And that's just the beginning, because what's really happening behind the scenes is a complete transformation of what this company is and what it wants from you. In January 2026, OpenAI officially announced it would start testing advertisements inside ChatGPT for users in the United States. If you're on the free tier or the $8 a month Go plan, you're now going to see sponsored content at the bottom of ChatGPT's responses. OpenAI says these ads are clearly labeled and won't influence the answers ChatGPT gives you. They also say they'll never sell your data to advertisers. But here's what they're not saying loud enough. The system decides which ads to show you by analyzing what's being discussed in your current chat. Think about that for a second. You're asking ChatGPT about your health, your finances, your career problems. And an algorithm is reading that conversation in real time to figure out what to sell you. OpenAI says ads won't appear near sensitive topics like health or politics. But the line between sensitive and monetizable has a funny way of moving when billions of dollars are on the table. And this isn't a small experiment. Internal documents show OpenAI expects to generate $1 billion from free user monetization in 2026 alone. By 2029, they're projecting that number hits $25 billion. This isn't a test. This is the plan. To understand why this is happening, you need to understand what OpenAI has become. This company started as a nonprofit research lab. Its mission was to ensure artificial general intelligence benefits all of humanity. That was the pitch. That's why people trusted it. In October 2025, OpenAI completed its conversion to a for-profit company, and now it's preparing for an initial public offering, an IPO, expected in late 2026. That means OpenAI is about to answer to shareholders. And shareholders don't care about your trust. They care about growth. The numbers tell the story. OpenAI's annual revenue hit roughly $20 billion in 2025. But they're burning cash at an astonishing rate. Reports suggest they lost billions in the first half of 2025 alone. And the company has committed to spending an estimated $1.4 trillion over the coming years on infrastructure, data centers, chips, energy, just to keep the lights on. Only about 20 million of ChatGPT's 800 million weekly users actually pay for a subscription. That's less than 3%, which means over 97% of users are an expense, not a revenue source. Ads aren't a side project. They're a survival strategy. Here's where it gets really interesting. A researcher named Zoe Hitzig, someone who actually worked at OpenAI, just resigned over this. She published a piece in the New York Times with the headline, "OpenAI is making the mistakes Facebook made, I quit." Her concern is simple but devastating. She believes OpenAI is building an economic engine that creates, in her words, strong incentives to override its own rules. The more money ads generate, the harder it becomes to keep them separate from the answers. And the competition is already pouncing. Anthropic, the company behind the AI assistant Claude, ran a Super Bowl ad directly mocking OpenAI. The tagline was, "There is a time and place for ads. Your conversations with AI should not be one of them." Sam Altman himself used to call advertising a last resort and described it as dystopian. Now he says he actually enjoys ads on Instagram because they help him discover products. That's quite the pivot. So what does this actually mean for you? 3 things. First, if you're using the free version of ChatGPT, your conversations are now a product. Not in the vague data collection sense, in the literal, we're reading your chat to sell you things sense. You can opt out of personalization, but the ads themselves aren't going anywhere unless you pay. Second, the race to monetize AI is now officially on. Google has announced plans to bring ads to Gemini in 2026 as well. This isn't just an OpenAI problem. This is the future of AI, and it looks a lot like the past of social media. Third, and this is the big one, the companies building the AI you depend on are now incentivized to keep you using their product as much as possible because more usage means more ad revenue. Sound familiar? It should. It's the exact same model that made social media addictive. The question isn't whether AI will have ads. That's already decided. The question is whether you're paying attention to what comes next. If this is the kind of breakdown you want, no press releases, no clickbait, just the real story behind big tech and AI. Hit subscribe. I drop new videos every single day breaking down the stories that actually shape your future. Drop a comment below. Are you okay with ads in ChatGPT, or is this a deal breaker? I want to hear it. I'll see you in the next one.